Okay, so does anybody want to share about an essay they've written before? But
In fourth grade, I wrote an essay that gave me a 100 about when I was small. I wrote about Disney World, and then when I got there, the first day when I got to the hotel, we packed our stuff and stuff. Yeah, we went straight to the game and stuff. And one of the workers dropped like water and Coke all over me. So he took me to the store and gave me a free souvenir and stuff.
so you wrote a personal narrative about going to Disneyland. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I wrote an essay on a Star Test about me getting baseball cards. I was in the laundry room at some apartment and I found this big thing of baseball cards. I took them and found some cool baseball cards. I went outside and went back and saw a kid crying and I asked him, why are you crying? He said, I lost my baseball card. I said, I have some cards, and he said, really? I pulled up some Pokemon cards and said, ha ha ha. Wow, such a baseball card.
Whoa.
They were out there in the open.
Does anybody else want to share?
No, for sure. Ever since I heard that story about Pokemon.
Hey, raise your hand.
My kid don't believe me. I would say
Okay, we'll put your journals up. Share. You can share. Okay, so let me ask y'all a question. How many of y'all want to go to college?
Me,
Hey.
Don't speak. Raise your hand. Gentlemen, no conversation. I just want to see how many of y'all plan on going to college. Raise your hand up high. Okay. Put your hand down. How many of y'all want a really awesome job after you graduate college? Raise your hand.
welding.
I'll be a chef.
Want some money?
Okay, put your hand back down. For those of you who are wanting to go to college, let me burst your bubbles. Writing is going to be a part of it. You're going to have lots and lots of essays, but don't be discouraged. Today what we're going to learn about is step 1 of the writing process, which is called pre-writing, also known as brainstorming. So what I did is I brought a couple examples of my college papers to show y'all that you're really going to use this in the future. I am personally in favor of the web, the concept web. But I've also used methods such as quick lists. And you can tell after I made this quick list, I checked off each thing as I addressed it in my essay to make sure I had everything. So it's something you're really going to use. Okay, so on your notes, you have notes that look like these that I passed out. Up here, it's going to say step 1. Next to step 1, write pre-writing. These are going to be fill-in-the-blank notes. I'll go along where it says step 1, write pre-writing next to it. Yes. I know these notes are a little bit confusing. I tried to underline all the words y'all are going to need, but I'll go through them with y'all. Okay, so right under step 1, it says A, define your purpose. So when you're defining your purpose, you're asking, what am I writing about? What do I want to tell my audience? How do I want to tell my audience? You're defining your purpose in this essay. So you're going to define your purpose. B, don't filter yourself. You don't want to worry about finding a good or a right answer. You just want to write down everything you can think of about that one topic. You don't need to worry about spelling or punctuation or even having complete sentences. You're just trying to get all the information from your brain onto the paper. So you're pretty much going to let one thought lead you to another. to write as many ideas as you can in a brief, defined amount of time. So you don't want to spend all day on this process. You want to set aside 5 minutes and be like, I'm going to write a paper about... Okay, we want to write a paper about food. I'm going to write everything down that I can think of about food. What kind of food I like, maybe. My favorite restaurant. Who the chefs are. I'm just going to write everything that comes to mind. But I'm only going to give myself, hey, if I'm talking, you shouldn't be. You're going to put all your ideas down on paper. Just get it all out. And you want to do it in a brief amount of time. Like I said, set aside 5 minutes. Okay, so under C1, it says with brainstorming, it's quantity, not quality. Somebody last period asked me, isn't it supposed to be the other way around? No, not in brainstorming and pre-writing. You want to get down as many ideas as you can. Like I said, quality doesn't matter. It can be a completely bad idea. You can scratch it out later. It doesn't matter. You just want to get everything down. Quantity, not quality. C1. I'm going to call them out by letter and number. Okay, so A on your paper was define your purpose. B was don't filter yourself. C was write as many ideas as you can in a brief, defined amount of time. And C1 is with brainstorming, it's quantity, not quality. Does everybody have A through C?
Yes.
D is you want to pick out your best ideas. And you want to look for patterns or groupings. So if I am writing about food, and let's say I wrote down enchiladas, tacos, and burritos, I can group those as a category for Mexican food. So maybe it says by examining your thoughts, you should be able to find the direction you want your essay to go. If you've written several related ideas, it's a good indication you feel strongly about it. Strongly goes in D1.
I like Mexican food.
But like I said, if I wrote burritos, tacos, and enchiladas, that's several related ideas. So maybe that's an indication that I feel strongly about Mexican food, and maybe that's what my essay needs to be about. Okay, E. Using a graphic organizer. You're going to decide if your ideas are meaningful. E1 is can you extend on your ideas? Providing clear details and examples. It's also wanting to know if you're interested in your ideas. Let me be honest with you guys. I'm a food connoisseur. I love food. I'd be interested in writing an essay about food. Yes, ma'am. Clear details. Sorry. is, can you extend your ideas, providing clear details and examples? Are you interested in your ideas? Choose a structure for your topic. Now, where that comes in is usually when you're given a topic, you know what kind of essay you're going to write. You're either going to write a personal narrative about yourself, or you're going to write an argumentative essay, or a compare and contrast. You would already know what type of paper you're writing. So once you get your ideas down and you start clumping them together, seeing what goes with what, then you kind of get a natural structure for your essay. If you know you're going to compare and contrast, you'll start seeing patterns where you can see, okay, well, I'm going to have my intro, which is introducing the two topics. Then I'm going to have my first paragraph comparing these two topics. Then I'm going to have my second paragraph contrasting them and explaining the differences. And then you'll have your conclusion. So by planning these things out and pre-writing and brainstorming, you're going to see a natural structure that your paper should take. Okay, F. You're going to use these ideas to help you develop a strong thesis. 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 Your thesis statement is your main claim or your argument. It's the main point of your whole essay. Everything you write in your essay should link back directly to your thesis. For F1, an effective thesis statement is essential to a well-crafted piece of writing. It is the broad statement of truth that you will be sharing with your words. So you have to stand behind what you write. Okay, so G, you are going to organize and expand ideas in a graphic organizer or outline, providing support, examples, and personal insight. Y'all remember your Cafe Squid notes?
Yeah.
Somebody raise your hand and tell me what they stand for. Go for it. C stands for?
Comparison.
Nobody talk except him. What's A stand for?
It was like anecdote.
Anecdote. Remember, anecdotes are short personal stories. What about the F?
Facts.
Facts. E. Examples. S.
Statistics.
Statistics. Q.
Quotes.
Quotes. I.
Illustration.
And the D.
Detailed.
Guys, be mature. Anyways, so you are going to use Cafe Squid to help organize and expand your ideas. Those anecdotes are your personal insights. Examples is one of the ones on there. Support. Support can be facts or statistics. So on G1, the most well-crafted essays contain both concrete examples and unique and thoughtful personal insight.
How do you spell that?
I-N-S-I-G-H-T. Insight.
Wait, that was G?
This is G1. The most well-crafted essays contain both concrete examples and personal insight. You should not plan writing in complete sentences. But it is essential for your essay that you write the main ideas and points where you think they should go. A complete and well thought out pre-writing plan will allow your ideas to be presented in an organized way. Remember, when you're writing this and you're putting it all together, you want it to make sense to your readers. You don't want to 1 second be talking about Mexican food and the next minute go on a tangent about how your aunt's a great cooker of Italian food. You want it to be organized and understandable and clear.
You really like Mexican food?
Yes, I really do like Mexican food.
Me too.
We don't like it.
Okay, y'all, quiet down.
Why?
Now, once you finish these notes, I want you to put them in your class folder. Do not lose them. Y'all will be working on them more tomorrow. Remember, today we're only going over step 1.
Oh,
Most time. Oh, sorry, there's one more blank. It says that this step should take the most time.
what about the bottom one?
That should be, don't worry about step 2. We're just doing step 1 today. We're learning how to pre-write and get our ideas from our brains to our papers. Hey, this does not require conversation. Finish your notes. If you have them finished, please put them in your class folder. Do not lose them. Like I said, y'all are continuing them tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Is your name Sal or Miss Sal?
Sal.
Is Miss Rexford gonna
She shouldn't be. She should be here. Okay, so what I just passed out to y'all is called a concept web. Make sure your name and class period is written on it. Quietly. Okay, once your name is on it, put your writing utensil down. Put it down. Yes, sir.
Oh, I did this.
Put your writing utensil down. I'm going to do an example for y'all, and then y'all are going to start y'all's own. But I'm going to ask y'all for help on mine. So if you have a suggestion or anything, raise your hand. Do not just shout it out, please. Okay? Yes, sir.
Wait, are we doing this yet?
Hold on. Okay, so let's say I am given the topic of writing an essay about reading.
Can we put that?
No, do not write. Remember, writing utensils down. Okay, so I've been given the assignment of writing an essay about reading. So in this middle bubble, it says what I think. So in this middle bubble, I'm going to write what I think about reading. Does anybody want to pop off an idea? Yes, Fisher.
I would say it's not the funnest thing I could do, but you know, if it's a good book, it's worth reading it.
Okay, so reading good books is worth it. Okay, yes, sir.
It's like an imagination adventure.
Okay, so
You can go to another world.
okay, it serves as an escape. What do y'all think about children reading?
It's for little kids.
The books are easy to take a test on.
Exactly.
Okay,
What she said.
okay, let me throw out my own idea out there. Maybe it'll get y'all thinking. I think reading benefits children.
How about you're in the middle of a forest and you only have a book about surviving? That would be good.
You would have
That would be
to book.
good. What?
Okay, so let's say I use this as my quick list. This is my a little bit of my brainstorm right here. So then what I'm going to go through next is I'm going to try and figure out which one I can make the strongest argument for. And if you guys want me to be completely honest, I'm an English language arts major, going to school to be a teacher. I honestly think right here, reading benefit children would be my strongest argument.
What?
So somebody pop off an idea why reading benefits children?
So whenever they grow up, they can read like their taxes and stuff.
Okay. It's important for when you're an adult. You have a lot of reading to do as an adult. Yes, sir.
That they can have jobs when they grow up because of reading.
Okay.
It gives them,
So, oh, go ahead.
it gives them facts and lets their brain grow.
Okay, gives them facts. I like that one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is in this box, it says why I think reading benefits children. Remember, everything's gonna link back to your topic. So, you said it gives them facts. So that can be like increasing knowledge. Now watch how everything connects. My topic is reading. I think it's important because it benefits, or I think it benefits children. Why I think it is because it's benefiting them because they're increasing knowledge. So then there's two more bubbles that say how I know it. In this how I know it area, you're going to use your cafe squid. So let's say I find a statistic.
Statistic. Oh my god.
Let's say I find this in a journal about, a journal of education or something. And it says children who read an hour a day score higher on state tests. I'm making that one up off the top of my head. So, one of my things of evidence is going to be 1 hour a day equals higher test scores. So that's going to be one of my bubbles of evidence to support my argument that it increases knowledge. Yes, Bishop?
Statistic is a fact, right?
Statistics are facts. Statistics are things that have been proven. Whether they be by surveys or studies. Usually statistics are always facts. But if they're correct, we use statistics.
Can I state a statistic?
Go for it.
Kids who read more have a wider Can you be quiet?
Hey, gentlemen, respect Fishery's talking.
Have a wider opportunity, like wider knowing of vocabulary.
That was going to be my next point. Thank you, Fisher. Fisher said a statistic is that, children who read more generally have broader vocabularies. So I could either find a statistic that backs me up saying that, or I could even, let's say, use a personal anecdote. Remember, anecdote is on your cafe squid. It's a personal story. So one of my other pieces of evidence is going to be an anecdote. And I've noticed, I read with my son 2 to 3 books a night before he goes to bed. I have noticed ever since I've started reading to him, he does have a wider vocabulary, and he uses words that we come across in his book. So I can use a personal story of mine to help back up my claim that it's increasing knowledge. He's 3. Okay. Anyways, y'all are normally going to come up with one more, but I'm going to skip that for now so we can get down to this part. So once you've got your ideas and your arguments and your details, what you want to do is the why it's important is usually going to be in your conclusion. So, reading benefits children. Why is that important? Somebody give me some ideas.
Because you have to know how to read to get around in this economy.
Okay, so, hold on. Okay, so helps children survive this society. Yes, Fisher.
You need to read because whenever you can you please quit?
Gabriel, move up here.
Put your left
To know how to read, to so you can get jobs, so you can you can be a free adult.
Okay, so it helps them grow. Okay. So then once you have why it's important, you're going to sit here and think, why is it important to me? So if this was my essay, why is reading benefiting children, helping them grow, important to me? If this was your essay, you'd ask why it's important to yourself. So, one reason it's important to me is that I'm I want to see all my students succeed. In order to see y'all succeed, you'll have to read. You'll have to do the work. You have to put in the effort. So for my reasoning for why it's important to me is to see students succeed. So once you have why it's important to yourself, you have to ask, why is it important to everyone else? Or why is it important to the world? So why is reading, benefiting children, helping them grow, important to everybody else?
Knowledge. So they don't fail school and stuff.
Okay? Go ahead, Gabriel.
Because it gives them the ways of getting jobs and the ways of doing what I said that.
And it makes it knowledge.
Okay, so to put this simply, believe it or not, one day y'all are going to be adults.
Yes.
And y'all are going to be the ones that are large and in charge and running our country and our businesses and everything else. So, reading, benefiting children, helping them grow is important to everyone else because it helps them function in society. It helps them be leaders in society. Yes, Fisher.
If we didn't have people in control, the whole world would be anarchy. And you know how you want to know how those people got to be in those top places to control our country?
How?
Reading.
Exactly. Fisher's got it. Think of it this way. If you're going to go to school and be a doctor, you're going to have a lot of case studies to read and a lot of anatomy textbooks. And there's going to be journal articles published about best practice medicine. If I go to the doctor to have surgery, and get my pancreas taken out, I want to make sure you know what you're doing. I don't want to go to a doctor that hasn't read and doesn't know this stuff. I want to go to somebody who knows. Fisher, neighbor, turn around. Here, go. I'm not telling you again.
No, I was talking to
It's the little thing that.
No, I'm separating out.
What is a pain?
Okay, it's an internal organ. Okay, so what I'm going to have y'all do now is you have your own concept webs. And I'm going to give y'all a topic, and y'all are going to fill in the concept web. There should not be voices. Gentlemen, face the front, stop talking. Both of y'all. Yes. Okay, so your topic, and it's going to be easy since y'all already have this in your Cafe Squid notes. Your topic is going to be challenges. So what you're going to do is, let me erase all this. Yes. This does not require talking. This is done individually. On the top of your bubble, you are going to write challenges. Then your center bubble says what I think. You're going to write down some ideas of what you think about challenges. This is for a grade. Any kind of challenge you think you can write about. You need more. You need multiple ideas.
You need multiple ideas for what I think.
If you have one really good argument, you write down what you think about challenges in the center.
Yeah, challenges.
Write down what you think.
What?
Anthony, stop talking. Start writing.
You know what I mean?
Gentlemen, y'all stop visiting. Start writing. You're going to pick one that you think is your strongest argument.
Strong as what?
Like, if you love pizza.
Can you think of arguments to back that? No. use, my topic is challenges. What I think about challenges is that they make you stronger. So then next, after I've picked out the main idea that I can make the strongest argument for, I'm going to move to the bubble on the right. And it says why I think this.
Are we using the one on the left?
You can use either. I'm just going to use the one on the right because that's the one I've been using. Okay, so challenges will make you stronger. Why do I think that?
Do we have to write why I think it does? Do we have to write them on both sides or just one?
You have to have two. Okay, so challenges. I think challenges will make you stronger. I think it because it'll help you grow. And remember, y'all can come up with your own arguments. You do not have to copy mine. You're supposed to be coming up with your own. Yes. You are going to come up with the other idea on your own. If you did borrow mine. Okay, but anyways, challenges. Why I think they help you grow. How I know it. Let's say I want to take a look back at our Cafe Squid notes. And I want to use an example. The Michael Jordan example.
Oh.
What is that?
Remember, for example, in our Cafe Squid notes, we had that Michael Jordan did not make his freshman basketball team.
Freshman?
Yes. So, he didn't make this freshman basketball team, and that posed as a challenge in his life. So what did he do? He practiced more. He worked harder. He physically and mentally grew so that he could make it the next year. So see, his challenge made him stronger.
I don't get it.
Why do you think challenges do this? Yes, why do you think challenges do that?
Can we do that?
But why? Why do you need to do that?
Ooh. Miss, I'm done.
Remember, you do not need to worry about spelling on these.
Miss, I'm done.
Anyway.
Okay, so then in your how I know it's true, remember that's where you're using your Cafe Squid. So you can use an example or an anecdote, which is a personal story. If you knew or could, yes, you can use quotes. You can find statistics. You can, just to give yourself an idea, to know exactly what you were thinking when you wrote that. Because sometimes you might step away from it and come back and be like, oh man, what did that mean? So I mean, I always just write what I'm using and what it is. Another thing I might do is I might use an anecdote about college. The challenges I faced in college and how they've made me stronger. I think I'm a better teacher today because of the challenges I've gone through while in school. So then once I'm done filling out both sides, then I'm going to look at why it's important. Why is it important that people grow stronger from challenges? There we go. It's important to overcome challenges and work through them to be successful. And then I would go on and continue and write why it's important to me and why it's important to the world. Everybody faces challenges. Everybody.
Wait, we do both sides?
Yes, you do both sides. You need to come up with two different arguments.
Oh,
wait, so one side would be about what it is.
Like, and I messed up.
I messed up. So I
We do like one side is the hard challenges, and one side is the easy challenges. No, that means
Hey, y'all are talking too much. Be silent. I've got people who've got questions and then go around. Are you done? Yeah, turn it into your box. Yes, sir.
So I did it. I told 4 challenges, and each challenges of 3.
If you can make a paper out of it.
My hands are
Yes, so it's different up there.
like I can put
You have to have more than one piece of evidence to back your claim.
it was A.
I raised my hand.
Well, get your arms in your shirt correctly, and I'd be able to see you.
Did I mess up? I did 18 or and I did hold on. I did 18
Do you have two Ladies, turn around. Turn around. Okay, so while y'all are finishing that up, I'm just going to show y'all a couple more examples of pre-writing and outlines you can use when working on essay writing. So, first one I've got personal narratives. In personal narratives, remember you're telling a story. So what you're doing is in your intro paragraph, you're introducing what your narrative is going to be about. It's going to be about you, on this example, helping your aunt take care of her son or daughter. So then what you're going to do, in the middle, in your body paragraphs, is explain what happened. So your first paragraph is going to be first, this happened. Next, this happened. Finally, this happened. And the bottom, you're going to have your conclusion. You're going to wrap up your story. If there was a moral or a lesson that you learned, you're going to throw that in there. If, in this case, somebody helping out with, their aunt's baby, their conclusion is they're glad they helped. Another example you can use for pre-writing is when you're writing an argumentative or persuasive essay. Has anybody ever written a persuasive essay?
No.
A couple of you have.
Oh yeah.
So in a persuasive essay, what you're going to do is you have your main idea in that bubble up there. Those three boxes along the side are the details you're going to use to support your argument. There's also a graphic organizer for letter writing. It shows you where to put your heading, where you put dear so-and-so, which is called your greeting. There's going to be the body of your letter, whatever you're writing them about. Then you'll have a closing and your signature. Like I said, there's even graphic organizers for that. How many of you have seen a Venn diagram before? Venn diagrams are usually used to compare and contrast. When you're comparing and contrasting the Venn diagram, in one circle, you'll put the details about one topic that differ from the other topic. And then in the center, you put how they're similar. So for a compare and contrast essay, there's a 4-paragraph outline you can use that you can find, where you have your intro introducing the two topics. Then you have one body paragraph explaining how they're the same. Then you have another body paragraph explaining how they're different. And then you would have your conclusion. You can get all of that from your Venn diagram. And last but not least, there's a strategy for expository writing with your two hands. It tells you places, things you've heard, seen, memories you have, things you've done. There's ideas, truths, attitudes, sayings, and opinions. Ms. Grafson's probably going to go over that more with y'all tomorrow, but I just kind of want to introduce it to y'all. Yes, when you're finished with your concept web, please turn it into the box.
Bitch, I'm breathing on me so hard. It's like a hurricane and tsunami happening.
It's raining in there.
Yes, you do the other side too. You make them happy.
Awesome.